We are in Antonito, Colorado at the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad, which we'll ride again someday. We rode it back in 1993 or 4, somewhere along there. Getting ready for their morning run. A little diversion over to Great Sand Dunes State Park, the tallest sand dunes in North America. About 25 miles of straight road off 285. And looks that way, back to the highway. Here we are at Great Sand Dunes National Park near Mosca, Colorado. Even some aspen changing up there. And we're walking up to the dunes now. Places to rinse your feet off. And here we are. This is it. I mean, we just came right out that little thing with the trail, and here they are. And we are not going all the way over where all those people are, but bizarre and cool. Very neat. A little mound here with aspen trees.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can hardly look at the ones at White Sands. It's so blinding. White.
Out on a morning walk behind the Tiger Run Resort. We are, I don't know, someplace east of the main road to Breckenridge, out in multi-million-dollar homes.
That's dead shit from me.
No, you're doing the mountain.
No cars.
We are up behind Keystone and made a diversion to some place called Settler's Cabin that Jennifer found. Very pretty back here. There's the old cabin there, trying to keep it from falling apart, I guess. We are headed up to Loveland Pass, which is the old cut through from the Silverthorne Dillon area up over the pass to Denver. Some beautiful color this year. I went the e-bike, dude. Here we go, Loveland Pass. Just short of 12,000 feet. We are up at Loveland Pass. It's like 42 degrees and the wind is picking up, so I think we're going to change jackets. We're up here on Loveland Pass. Our previous pictures were in just our windbreakers, but since it's 42 degrees and the wind is blowing, notice we have puffy coats and stocking caps on. Up here at Lower Lake, Little Alpine Lake up here by the pass.
Where do you go? Our lake. There you go.
The clouds and the break in the all the clouds, every once in a while we get a break and the sun comes out and a reflection.
Myself in my hand.
Well, this is actually Lower Lake. We've never been here before. Hard to believe.
Came over a rise or two that we'd never bothered coming over before, and ta-da! And Mother Nature is cooperating and the sun is coming out for this video.
And all the people left.
All the people left. Well, there was three or four women, that was all. So.
We decided to walk down to the lake. The wind picks up, it'll go away. Pretty reflections with the sun, but when the wind picks up, it'll go away. Just a little roadside pull-off here. It's a little pond over here in the Dillon campground. The trees, a little beaver. Looks almost like a little beaver hut. We are up down, I guess, at the Peak 1 campground on the south side of Dillon Reservoir, and found a spot where we could get a good panoramic view. Well, we're back from our trip, and a front has moved in, and it's hailing. Glad our car's under cover.
They're not good. You have no way.
We're just walking and parking. Well, this is what we were doing, is we park the car in a good place like this, out of the road, and then we walk so we can see stuff. Some more walking up and down. Definitely more color than any of the other times we've been here. There's the mountain.
All gonna be gone today, maybe.
Here we go, walking back to our car to move to the next parking spot. Up here at Baker's Tank. We've been up here before. But not with this kind of snow on the mountain. Well, this is where we took Maggie on one of her last trips. Had a snack and walked around with her. We are getting up closer and closer to the pass, and now the snow is melting off of the trees, but some of it is still there. Getting higher up. Almost to the pass. All right, the pass we think is right over there somewhere. (11,482 feet). We're on the Continental Divide.
Cutting a lot of wood for the skiers.
Well, we made it up to the Boreas Pass, an old railroad junction town that they have now converted into a winter cross-country ski lodge. Some firewood for the winter.
I was just in there taking a picture. If there's enough of the yellow leaves for some contrast. Yeah. Somebody's been busy cutting firewood for the winter, is right.
Well, we're starting out on our first hike of our trip, the Meadow Trail to Lily Lakes. An uphill climb. You don't get to hike in this kind of stuff very often. What was your first bit?
I guess I was starting.
That was 100 feet.
I was starting.
Pretty amazing. Beautiful morning. 41 degrees when we started. Well, we certainly haven't ever hiked in a place like this before, have we?
Not for a while.
Wind blows the aspen leaves and it looks like a little rain shower of aspen leaves. All right, so we are on the meadow trail now towards Eccles Pass, which we'll probably never make. It's a long ways. We've been a mile and we're up 700 some feet already. Well, now we are headed back to the Lily Lake Pond trail. We decided that the Eccles Pass trail, which we weren't going to go to all the way, had too much of this pine beetle, dead pine slash forest, and we decided to go back into the aspens. Every once in a while we come into these places where it must be pine beetle, or we don't know what's caused all the trees to die and fall. And then it goes back to another aspen path. All right, good bridge. Those of you that watch the stuff, everybody knows I like bridges.
Sun on the red bark.
A couple of moose on the trail down there. Just looks like a shadow right now, but not moving anywhere. Well, we're here at Lily Pad Lake, which looks like they have suffered the pine beetle. There's a small one over here, kind of gross, but looks like good moose food country, like the moose we saw earlier. And there's the bigger one. Well, this is the lake. Way up there. We are on our way back down. And Looking for a place for a snack.
Okay.
Maybe. Jennifer found a place, but
Got aced out.
we got aced out. Probably video of the same stuff, just a little later in the day and different sun. Some of the aspen are still green. We haven't figured out why. There's aspen over here that have lost their leaves. And then there's aspen back there that are still green. We think it might have to do with water and dryness. There she is, hiking through the aspen. Well, here's the stream we think comes out of the lake. We're looking for a place for a snack, but it's all in the sun and hard to get down to. Hey, you hear the wind? The river that I thought was the wind?
It's loud wind.
It is a loud wind. Back to our bridge again. We are back below the Meadow Trail Junction now. Back in where most of the aspen were when we went up. And we have noticed that even in the couple hours we've been hiking, lost a lot. Wait, sorry, I couldn't hear. Say it again.
I said the other thing is the sun, see, has shifted, so the light is different. So these little passes where we turned around and took our pictures on the air is brilliant as we were this morning.
You're right.
So there is, but there, see, we're done. And there, it's all pretty. You can only have so many pictures of it. We've done this twice now.
Out for a morning hike on the Dredge something loop trail. We'll see how it goes. Just kind of close to where the RV park is. Well, the first part of our trail is actually along the road. It does. Well, we're done with the road, 1.5 miles worth. So that was a bad estimate on my part. But we've done most of the climb, I think. Now we're getting ready to start the Brown Gulch Trail portion. We've seen quite a few runners along this road, so it must be a good place to run. This is the Brown Gulch Trailhead. You can see where we're going. Right here, and then here.
What's this say?
I think if I read my...
It says 2.3 miles.
Yep. I think if I read my All Trails correctly, we're done with the climb.
I don't think you can.
Well, this is kind of what I think we're going to be walking in. Definitely a contrast from yesterday. Well, now we must be entering the Galena Gulch Trail part. Okay, so now we start on the Galena Gulch portion, which I think just goes along contour lines all the way back towards where our parking lot is, and then we'll have to go down to the parking lot. Not exactly a fall hike, but it is a nice forest hike, and it's cool. Then right after I say it's not a fall hike, we end up in a little aspen grove. Little aspen grove, huh?
Yeah, that you didn't notice from down there.
I know it. Nice little stand in here. Couldn't even see this from the road that we were walking on. There's Jennifer way up there. You can see her red. Right underneath that red-orange aspen. This seems like a couple miles along the ridgeline. There's a big house out there. That's on that road that we drive. Cool little levee or berm or something along here. Well, not much of one, but a little bridge here. And a little babbling brook of water.
Barely babbling. Trying to babble.
And a little bench to sit on. Very nice. There's our little babbling brook.
That the water has created coming down there. See that?
Yep. The water's just crystal clear. This has been a good 1.25 miles along this berm levee thing. Now we're back to where the houses are. So we might be getting closer to turning towards the parking lot. How many miles have we been? Can you tell?
3.5.
3.5. So we got about a mile more. With a little bridge thing. Babbling brook. Oh, we're off the little berm levee thing now and headed to the intersection where we start down somewhere. Some moose country down there. Where's our moose? No moose. Don't get those gates very often, do you?
I saw one down the hill.
Well, unfortunately, this is the finish. About 3/4 mile down this road. There's a monster big house being built, log cabin thing, at the end of this road. So they obviously paid to get a bigger road. Now we're getting back into some open area and color. A little hairpin turn here, and then we go back down to the car. And we're back to the parking lot and the old dredge skeleton thing. All right, back at the parking lot. 4.9 miles. 4.9 miles and 450 feet and 2.5 hours. We are on a short walk now around this little pond lake where the dredge skeleton is. Or you can see where all the dredge rocks and stuff are. They have been doing a reclamation along this river to repair it back to what it was. We are out on an extension of the road from our hike, Tiger Road or something like that, and headed back now, just out for a drive after our walks.
The Jesse Mine and Mill. Active years 1885 to somewhere in the 1930s. Hard rock mill. Mined gold, silver, and lead. Look carefully on the hillside above the wooden mill structure, and you can see the remains of as many as 7 mine openings, except when the trees are covering them all up. These portals, or adits, led into the vast underground network of the Jesse, as seen on the map down here. One of the largest mine and mill complexes in the Breckenridge area. During its heyday from the late 1880s through the early 1900s, the Jesse buzzed with hardy miners who used drilling and blasting techniques originally developed in Cornwall, England. Men hauled the blasted ore to the surface and then transported it to the stamp mill, which was a large wooden structure in front of you, via a gravity-powered cable tramway from the Glenwood Tunnel, one of the mine openings on the hillside above the mill. Built in 1893 to 94, the stamp mill crushed large chunks of run-of-mine ore, breaking it down into sand-sized particles. The stamps, which were 800-pound piston-like pieces of iron, pounded the ore with an up-and-down motion. Only the wooden shafts that house the stamps and storage bins remain. The photograph of the mill here, taken in the 1890s, shows the full scale of the building, far larger than what is left today.
You can see the wind blowing the leaves. And we're out on a drive here, French Gulch Road or something like that. This is an old dredge mining road. Drove up there for a while. Just out for a morning walk behind Tiger Run. Out Revitt Drive, is that what it's called?
This is Revitt.
And forecast is for weather to move in the next couple days.
Maybe more snow. Okay, maybe not.
Maybe not. Monster homes back here. This is a smaller one. We're in a new place, Ute Pass. This is the 10-mile range along here on an overcast day. There's supposed to be rain coming in. There she goes up there. A little better view than I took before. Up here, Ute Pass and the 10-mile range. on a campground. This is the Blue River, and we are down at a campground near here. Be a nice place to camp, that's for sure. On our way to Glenwood Springs, and we stopped at the little rest area just on the west side of Glenwood Canyon. Beautiful little rest area. Little trip over to Glenwood Springs to see where they say Doc Holliday is buried. Up that trail somewhere.
Half a mile.
Right, it's a half a mile hike up this trail to where they say Doc Holliday is buried. Well, this is historic old Glenwood. And this is our little trail that we're walking up. Here we are up at the top. "180 feet up. This is it. Doc Holliday buried here. John Henry Holliday. 1831, 1887. Oh no, sorry, 1851 born, died 1887.
Bullock's Department Store. That's the hotel where he was when he died.
So he's not really here. This is just a monument to him. He's buried somewhere in the cemetery, but nobody knows exactly where. An old West Cemetery up on the hill that now the city owns, I guess. So there's one train of thought that says that Doc Holliday was buried in Potter's Field because he was destitute when he died and bedridden for quite a few months. And he could be up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, it's just a memorial down there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a grave.
Well, this is Kid Curry, a member of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids Hole in the Wall gang. Or Wild Bunch. Born in Iowa, right?
That's it.
This is the Hotel Colorado in Glenwood Springs, where Theodore Roosevelt used to come and was the Western White House for him.
Bear hunting expedition.
So Theodore Roosevelt headquartered here on hunting trips. The unsinkable Molly Brown was here as a host to high society, and President Taft was here. We're on the south side of Aspen on our way to Independence Pass. The whole road so far has been lined with aspen trees. This is the town of Independence, an old mining town down in there. We're almost to the top. In the Alpine area, we're getting there for sure. We're getting close to 12,000 feet up now. Oh, there's another little ghost town somewhere down in there as well. Getting cold up here. Up at Independence Pass, 12,095 feet, right along the Continental Divide. No snow except way up there. We were here a few years ago, maybe a lot of years ago.
See the aspen color.
Down here in the bottom of the valley. Big cut on the side of that mountain's what we drove down.
I know.
Moose country, but I don't see any. Little dam, we've debated about whether it's a beaver dam or a man-made dam. If it's a natural beaver dam, it's an old one.
Tiger Lakes, and it's a little example of how spectacular the aspen have been on this trip.
Here in the Twin Lakes area, although there's not much of Twin Lakes right now because they're so low. This is our Georgetown day and a little bit of railroad day. We're here at Silver Plume as they're opening up things. Don't see any engines running yet, but maybe there'll be something later. All right, here we are. There's the engine. Okay, Jennifer caved and we are gonna ride it. It's like an hour and 20 minutes, so we're taking a ride. into Georgetown there. Filling up with water.
I don't blame you at all. I have that same fear. But I do have a simple trick that
Well, after a slow, windy hairpin climb with 9,000 cars up the road, we finally made it up to the Granella Pass summit area. No pictures of leaves, although there were some leaves, but just too many power lines. Jennifer's got us off on some adventure. Don't know where she's taking us though. Well, we're gonna hike up there, but we just don't have time. It's only 14,000 some feet up there. So on our way back down on the backside of Granella Pass towards, we're gonna go back via Fairplay, so we're gonna come into Breckenridge from the south. This little pulled off into a little parking area, Creekside Trail head parking or something. Little bridge and everything here, it's pretty. The water's kind of a greenish color. It's the roadside pull-off off of Highway 285. Just a roadside pull-off off of Highway 285. We are down in the historic district of Santa Fe, walking around in the park here. This is St. Francis Cathedral down here in Santa Fe.
Cathedral Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi.
Well, now we are over by Loretta Chapel, home of the miraculous staircase. Nuns prayed for it, and then someone mysteriously came in and built it. And it has no supports, it's all self-standing. Completely freestanding, no supports.